They're after me. This is. They're after me. The woke crowd are idiots. They really. It took them this long to figure out that Dark Fate bombed badly. Alright. If I don't make it out of this, y'all need to know. It's bad. I mean, if y'all saw my Hercules thing, it's bad. It's worse. Wow. They are looking for. The word has to be taken out. Oh, got out. So, okay. I watched Terminator Dark Fate, or as I've heard some people call it, Woke Fate. So I'm like, that's funny. Okay, where to start with this movie? It's really, really bad. It's entertaining if you have half a brain cell, but like it's not good. Okay, so within the first like 8, I timed this. Within about the first 8 minutes of the movie, the whole canon of Terminator is just thrown out the window and rewritten. So they stopped Judgment Day from Terminator 2, and they're on a beach or a luau or something, and young Arnold Schwarzenegger kills John Connor, 12-year-old John Connor. Like boom, right then, movie over. But so so I only the new Terminator, the good one, is a woman, which okay, that doesn't really bother me because in the third one, the villain Terminator was the villain, so it was kind of cool. But like she was hot too. But anyway, at least you could tell she was a woman. But like this, I'm not no. This chick, I could. The whole movie, I was like, she's supposed to be a woman, right? Like, she's a woman, but like she doesn't really like she looked like transgendered Justin. What she really looked like was transgender uh, Justin Bieber. That's what she looked like. And so like okay, so the big selling thing with her is she's not Terminator, she's human, just enhanced, or as they kept saying, augmented. Okay, it took you 30 something years to figure that out to pull that card. I figured that I thought of that when I was 10. I was like, because back when you're 10 years old, you're playing out in the yard, with your toy guns and this and that, or swords or whatever. So I was like, wouldn't it be cool if like there was a Terminator that was human, but like basically like a cyborg? So I'm kind of thing. So I was like, and then I watched this. I was like, it took him 30 some years to figure that out. But uh anyway, so it takes like okay, Skynet is no more. Skynet's no more. No, instead it's now Legion. And the whole future that the whole franchise was supposed to lead up to is erased, replaced by this new future. And this illegal immigrant, shall we say? Because it starts out like it starts out in New York, Mexico City, or I think that's what it was. It was in Mexico. Okay, fine, whatever. And then within the first 20 minutes of this movie has no pacing, like none. And so within the first 20 minutes, John Connor dies, is replaced by this illegal immigrant chick to be, and we're led to believe, oh, she's going to be the new Sarah Connor to birth a new John Connor. No, she's John Connor. Okay, well, that's retarded. Why that it really is SJW bullcrap just smeared all over a beloved franchise. And so this new Terminator, this new chick Terminator comes in and tries to rescue her. Within the first 20 minutes of the movie, John Connor dies. Uh, this new chick becomes the new not John Carpenter. He's a director, not an actor character. The new John Connor. And then her family is all killed in the first 20 minutes. And, like, no pacing at all. But we have original Sarah Connor back, so yay! She looks tired. You know, and I'll get to that in a bit. But, so, it's like, oh, and this new, like, okay, first off, okay, it's really messy, too. The new Terminator. I don't know any of these new actors. The only two actors that are any good and noteworthy are Sarah Connor and Arnold Schwarzenegger, which he is in. Duh. And but I don't know the name of the Mexican lady or immigrant chick. I don't know no, her character's name is Danny. I don't know the actress's name. I don't know the actress's name of transgender Justin Bieber. I don't know her name. I don't know her name. I don't know the name of the new evil Terminator, but he was probably he is the only one in this whole movie that actually looked like he was having fun making it. But like he's called a Red 9 or something, a Rev 9, I think he's called a Rev 9. But he's the only, like, you know what the whole gimmick with him is? He is essentially an incomplete. And when I say incomplete, he's an incomplete exoskeleton with a T-1000 fused to him, and that can separate from him and do and so they can, like, have numbers on their side. So essentially, he's a Terminator, two different Terminators fusion dance together. Is essentially what he is. But he's the only actor that looks like he's having fun in the movie, even though half his performance is like, sorry about the shed. That's an actual line. He's the only one that actually looks like he's having fun. Sarah Connor and Arnold Schwarzenegger, they just look tired and don't want to be there. And so, okay, the female Terminator, her name is Grace. But like half her performance is her. Okay, you know how people made fun of Logan because half of Hugh Jackman's performance is what he was like. That's essentially her, only she's about to go comatose half the time. And they explain it because, like, they even show x-ray of her. Her whole insides are, like, replaced by Terminator parts. So she's upgraded. And, but because of that, it takes a huge toll on her physically. Like, so they even explained, like this was a suicide mission from the start. I either kill the Terminator in the first few minutes, or we all die anyway. So she was she was essentially a suicide. Went on a suicide mission. Okay, so like there's a scene where when she's done fighting and they're running away, she's like she's like this. She's like this. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding at all. Not one bit. So they take her to, I think, a clinic or a veterinary office or something in Mexico. I don't know, but like she's spewing all this. I need anti-convulsants, insulin, and other this and that and the other. And like insulin. Wait, she really did look like a dying diabetic half the time. Bony, skinny, diabetic. Because, like, okay, long story short, my mother was a juvenile diabetic, and the older she got, the worse it got. So a lot of the times she was like, I'm don't mean that to be disrespectful, but like she looked like she was going into a diabetic coma. This character, because I've seen it. But so I'm like, wait a minute, you need anticonvulsants and insulin and this other stuff that I have even no idea what it is, and she's like mixing it into a cocktail, and then it takes a syringe, like, and has that much, and throughout the movie she keeps pumping herself with this stuff. And I'm like, oh, great. So she's a junkie. And someone's going to be like, she needed that to live. I'm like, they could have easily done that differently. Like, okay, they could have gone the route of like, okay, this takes so much energy to burn. This burns so much energy and takes so much energy to operate my new body now. So I have to eat constantly. Calories equal energy. Okay, just have her eat like a freaking Saiyan, dude. It's not that hard. It's without the thing. It was just weird. But so they're like, she was. I kid you not. There's a scene where they're taking this riding on top of the train to get to a destination, but it's the whole top of the train was just like illegal immigrants trying to get to the border. And which is a very heavy theme in this movie. It was so stupid. Anyway, she gets mad at Sarah Connor and pulls a Sasuke. I'm not kidding. What do I mean by that? She literally gets up on a standing on the roof while on the train while they're all riding on the roof outside the train. She gets up because she's mad at Sarah. She gets up and just does this. On the edge of the train, emo style. I was like, since when did this become an anime, man? I was very, very mad. Well, it was one of those things where like because I was eating and I was like, drop my fork. Okay. So they find out that, and here's one of my biggest problems with the movie. Like, I am so grateful and glad that Arnold was in it, but there was no reason for him to be in it. Like, let me explain. They go and explain that ever since John Connor's death, Sarah has been hunting Terminators. Excuse me. She's been hunting Terminators, and she would get a random text with a date, time, and place of where a Terminator was going to show up, and she would go there and kill it. Okay, kind of cool. And then we find out who's been giving her the text it's the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, that killed John Connor. I kid you not. And he's grown essentially a conscious, and he went like the Terminator went from being the Terminator to a family man, literally, which makes no sense because like they explain it like there was no more orders being given out. I had to find a purpose. This woman gave me purpose as I helped raise her kid. I'm like, so I'm sitting there. I'm like, that makes no sense. You're a machine. Once a machine fulfills its programming, it shuts down. Especially if it's that kind of like mission, it's like, okay, it makes way more sense that it would make way more sense just from an AI standpoint, a way of thinking. Okay, the Terminator's completed its mission. Now it has internal programming that makes it go off somewhere where it won't be found and just decommission itself, just shut down. Okay, that would have made way more sense just from an AI standpoint. What would have made sense as well is if they stumbled across him and then had an argument and then rebooted him, essentially. How is this so hard to figure out? And it's like, he looked tired too. Like, he really looked tired. They both did, yet they were the only good parts about this movie. Like, and I was watching it. Maybe y'all will be able to figure this out. I don't know, but I was watching it, and like he was still wearing like short sleeve shirts, so like you could see his guns, but like I couldn't tell if the veins on one of his arm were actually his veins or if they were CG'd in. Isn't that sad? Like there's so they find okay, we're gonna kill box this thing. They get EMPs that don't make it. Like they like Sarah's like, I know a guy, and they get this guy from the military to give them EMPs, and then the villain attacks and unintentionally destroys the EMPs. Destroys the EMPs. So they're like, okay, what do we do now? But they're fighting in an aircraft, military plane, okay, and like that was a pretty cool scene. But like, before they fight, they're having a conversation where it's revealed, no, Danny's not the new Sarah Connor, she's the new John Connor, and like you see Sarah Connor, I don't remember her name, the actress's name, but Sarah Connor just kind of looking. And like before she delivered her line, she just had this look of like, this is so stupid. And then she delivers her line. Like, it was like, and where Arnold's just standing there and he has this kind of look. He has this kind of look. No, let me redo it because like it's like she thought the expressions were like she thought that was so stupid. Where he's like, why am I here? And so okay, it's a 2-hour movie, by the way. They get captured by border patrol or whatever, and like the evil Terminator. I'm just going to call it. I'm going to call. I'm going to call this new Terminator Fusion Dance Terminator, Mr. Fusion Dance, because that's what he is. He's called Rev 9, but he's a fusion. Now I want to see the T108 and T2000 do the fusion dance and come up with this guy. Because that's essentially what they did. Like concept wise, that's essentially what they did. And so they oh my gosh, this is so stupid. So they end up crash landing from the helicarrier, I guess is what it's called, to this dam facility, like or plant or whatever. And they make their final stand, shall we say. And and it's so stupid. So let me get my thoughts. So they make their final stand. They destroy one, like the T1000 piece of the Terminator, but now it's just like the endoskeleton, which looks like it looks like what would happen if like you just took different like strips of metal and made them all nice and smooth, but just welded them together all crappily. That's what it looked like. And I used to weld a little bit, so yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked pretty, but put together poorly. Like it's like just hit him with a sledgehammer, he'll fall apart. Which they do that in the beginning of the movie, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind when I see the actual endoskeleton of this guy. That's what it looks like, in the impression that it looks like. But so it's revealed. Okay, we don't have the EMPs anymore. Grace is like, use my power cell, rip it out of my stomach and use it. It will destroy him. To which I was like, do it. No, because I didn't like those characters. But anyway. Okay, so you know how in Terminator Genesis, John Connor found Kyle Reese, his dad, at a young age, and raised him and took care of him. That's essentially what this chick did for Grace. Like, that's essentially exactly what happened. So that they kind of explain it like that too, almost. But so oh, and they're called, and the Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator name, Carl. Let that sink in for a minute. The Terminator is named Carl. Save me? No. So he gets one of his arms ripped off. So he's fighting the whole final fight with one arm. Awesome, Arnold. I love you. So like he gets knocked out, and Danny's about to die. Sarah goes like, "Carl, wake up!" And he's like, you know, he throws this. He tries to throw what's left of the evil Terminator, Fusion Dance Terminator, down this like pit, like I don't even know why it was there, but it was like industrial pit or something. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know the layout or purpose of the plant that they were in, but there's no reason for that to be there. Anyway, like but it tries to throw him along with him. So Arnold's just like this on the ledge, and he's looking down. It just gives them the look. It gives the two survivors this look. He falls down and just keeps the Terminator, the evil guy down there as they explode. So that's the thing. Arnold dies in all these movies, and yet he still keeps coming back. So, like, compared to this movie, Terminator Genesis is a masterpiece. That movie wasn't good and it wasn't bad, but it was fun. This movie's just insulting to any fan of the franchise. Like, just with the fact that they rewrite everything. Like 30-something years of the franchise storytelling down the drain. Nope, we're doing this now. Hope you like being woke. Mm. Hmm? Hope you like the poison you drank. They found me! I am not on vacation. RKO Stunner 619 is the killer. Look for the body.